an easy metaphor to explain how we process information and then come about to our understanding of the world is thinking about our brain as like a bouncer, like a nightclub bouncer. So then who's given like a list of people to come in. So they're like, okay, so everyone who is over 18 can come in, everyone who's appropriately dressed, everyone who's not absolutely drunk. So you have the list of what your brain allows in, because we receive so much information that our brain just cannot comprehend at any given point of time. So we have to then start filtering it out. And those filters are based on our prior experiences, based on our knowledge, based on our values. And so that then forms whatever we let in our brain. And so then say you have all of this visual stimuli, sound stimuli, so everything that you see, and then it comes into your brain and then it gets filtered through the list, the pre-existing list that you have. And then only that information then can come in. And that's why it's really different. If, for example, both of us look at the same picture, I might remember something else from you because we have different filtering, because you picked up on information that my brain probably has on block that doesn't even let in. And that's where the red car theory, for example, comes about as well to demonstrate this really, really well, which is, for example, say that you want to buy a red car and then suddenly you go outside and you see a billion of red cars and you're like, what? How did it happen that overnight there is every second car is red? And it's not because there are more red cars, it's because your brain started noticing other things. So potentially what you've done is, because you're looking to buy a red car, you've added another item to your list of what can come into your brain. And that's why you start noticing it. Similarly, when someone's trying to plan a baby, suddenly babies are everywhere. And I think that's kind of how it works. And I think what this understanding really gives us is freedom. And I'm such a fan of it. This makes us such free creatures, because if you understand that everything that you understand is not actually real, but it's only through your lens, then the power comes from the fact that we can actually adjust our lens to whatever it is that we want. We can pick up information in whichever way or shape we want. We can reprogram, or rather redefine, our values, and we can really change this internal representation of everything that we have, and then change our behaviors, therefore, and our life and everything. So I think it kind of gives us freedom, that nothing is set in stone, nothing is stuck, but everyone sees it differently. But you can really mold your life and to be whatever it is that you want to be, which is really, really exciting.
I want the best nightclub. I want the best lens. I guess, what does that mean that I would need to do to get that?
I think there's this term I saw recently called pronoia, and it's the opposite of paranoia. And pronoia is like the idea that you believe behind everything that the universe is secretly conspiring for you. And it's kind of like optimism turned up to the max, and a belief in opportunity. You know, when doors open, when challenges come in front of you, you can either see that as a hurdle that you won't be able to surmount, or you can see it as an opportunity for growth.
I think it's very difficult. I think a lot of people say, okay, so how am I supposed to then become this person? I think an understanding of your limiting beliefs is a really good start, because as you said, that there are expansive beliefs and beliefs that limit us. And all behaviors that we do for a reason, even if it's unhelpful behavior. Potentially there's a value contradiction or something else that's going on underneath. So I think the first step in actually getting yourself free out of this is paying attention and recognizing. So what is it that you do? What is your reaction? What do you like in life? What do you want from life? And kind of mapping this out, and then just paying attention and adding a lot of self-love and kindness into it as well. Because I think self-talk is one of the most fundamental things that comes with changing yourself and changing your life for the better, because it actually allows you to see the problem rather than being absolutely blinded by self-hatred and self-criticisms that a lot of us actually are very used to. And I think that's a really good start then for people to identify, is there something that you believe about yourself that holds you back? And what is it that you want to potentially believe about yourself? And then kind of starting there and then adding other things. Because I feel like it's very difficult to completely change your mindset for it to be a puzzle if you have a billion limiting factors that actually protect you. Again, I think every behavior is the result of something. So it's there for a reason. Maybe in the past you had a situation you didn't really know how to cope better, but now it just stuck with you. And now that's your brain's first instinct to do if situation X arises. So in order to get rid of this, you have to figure out what it is, pay attention to it. And then a million times, how many times do you have to forget in order to remember, go through this process, and then you start to finally see the positive light.